Good evening, and welcome to the annual Yule TIDE Concert. I'm one of your MCs, Dan Roberts, and standing here next to me is my co-MC, the mildly notorious Captain Dano Quinn.
Good evening, everybody. We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be starting off with solo performer Chris Rowe. We're also featuring a wonderful sea shanty group, the Shifty Sailors. We've got the Blue Heron Canoe family, and finishing up with the musical group SeaStar. So get ready for a great show.
Okay, we'd like to thank For Culture for their support. We'd like to thank our members for their support, and we'd like to thank all of you who can help support live music, and we'll be telling you how to do that several times over. We'd like to also remind you that, and ourselves to that matter, that this performance is taking place on the ancestral lands of coastal Salish people who inhabited this area for thousands of years, who have taken care of the land so beautifully that we now enjoy. Thank you very much.
Yes, this is indeed a live show. Our audience is the sound crew and the other performers. And of course, you out there in internet land. We're really glad you're here. If you would like to support this concert or Maritime Folknet in general, you can go to the maritimefolknet.org website, and there are places there where you can donate and help the cause.
And we do have a GoFundMe channel also, which I think will be appearing on your screen at one point or another, or probably several points. All right. So Maritime Folknet was founded years and years ago to give a venue for supporting maritime music and both the participation and the creation in maritime songs, sea shanties, sailor songs, other things that deal with people floating around on objects on water. So and the whole idea was to try to raise money to actually pay people to do this. What a concept. So you can help us by going to that GoFundMe page and help support paying maritime musicians.
All right, we're going to get right into it now. Chris Rowe, our first act, spent decades organizing musical events here in Seattle. She's now based in Olympia. She's got a very engaging voice, seems especially made for the traditional ballads. She knows all the pub songs, the sea shanties, the Morris songs. She even writes her own music and songs as well. So please welcome to the stage, Chris Rowe.
Thank you, Dan. I'm going to start off with the Ditchling Carol, which has been in circulation, I think, for maybe since the 19th century or so. So we'll give it a try here. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. And oh, remember gentles gay, who bask in fortune's favored ray. The year is all your holiday, the poor have only Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. When you with velvets mantled o'er defy December's raging roar, oh, spare one garment from your store to clothe the poor at Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. From blazing loads of fuel awhile your homes are within summer's smile. Oh, spare one faggot from your pile to warm the poor at Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. When you the costly banquets deal to guests who never famine feel, oh, spare one morsel from your meal to feed the poor at Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. When generous wine your care controls and brings new joy to happier souls, oh, spare one goblet from your bowls to cheer the poor at Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. So shall each note of mirth appear, more sweet to heaven than praise or prayer. And the angels in their carols there will bless the poor at Christmas. Be merry all, with holly dress the festive hall. Prepare the song, the feast, the ball, to welcome Merry Christmas. There you go. So that, a song with goodwill and admonition. I'm going to follow this, well, December 6th is, 2 days from now. And December 6th is the feast of St. Nicholas. St. Nicholas, I've discovered recently, thanks to the World Wide Web, is the patron saint of children, which we all knew, but he's also the patron saint of wolves and pawnbrokers and sailors. So he's fitting right in here. The legend of St. Nicholas goes something like this. This is a French song, and there's probably French speakers out there, but I'll run through it anyway. St. Nicholas, well, there were 3 little children who were out gleaning in the fields one day, and it got dark, and it got cold, and it got scary. And so these 3 little children knocked on the door of the first house they could find, and it happened to be a butcher who lived there. Right, so they knocked on the door of the butcher. They said, "Butcher, will you take us in? We're cold and scary and lost." And the butcher said, "Yes, come in, little children. I love little children." So they came in. No sooner had they come in, but he killed all 3 of them, chopped them up in little pieces, and chucked them into a pickle barrel. And there they abided for quite some time. Now, 7 years later, St. Nicholas happened by the very same butcher's house. He knocked on the door and said, "Butcher, will you let me come in?" Butcher said, "Come in, St. Nicholas. Absolutely, there's a place for you." No sooner had Nicholas come in the door, but he asked for something to eat. And the butcher said, "Would you like some ham? Would you like some ham?" "No, I don't care for ham that much." "Oh, how about some veal then?" "Non, il n'est pas bon. Il n'est pas beau. Je n'en veux." What I'd really be interested in, St. Nicholas said, was what you have in that pickle barrel over there. Now, the butcher knew immediately that the jig was up, so he headed for the door. Nicholas said, "Hold on there, butcher. Come back. Don't run away. Repent, and God will forgive you." And with that, he raised 3 fingers above the pickle barrel, and the 3 little kids popped out one after another, no worse for the wear. The first one said, "I slept very well." The second one said, "Me too." The third one said, "I thought that I was in paradise." So here we go. This has a refrain, which goes, gotta figure out what key that is. That's E minor. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. That's the refrain. There were three little children who were out gleaning in the fields. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. S'en allaient chez un boucher. Boucher, voudrez-vous nous loger? Entrez, entrez, petit enfant. Il y a de la place assurément. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Ils n'étaient pas si tôt entrés que le boucher les a tués, les a coupés en petits morceaux, mis au saloir comme un porceau. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Saint-Nicolas, au bout de 7 ans, vint à passer dedans ce champ, à la frapper sur le boucher. Boucher, voudrais-tu me loger? Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Entrez, entrez, Saint-Nicolas, il y a de la place, il n'en manque pas. Il n'était pas si tôt entré qu'il a demandé à souper. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Voulez-vous un morceau de jambon? Je n'en veux pas, il n'est pas bon. Voulez-vous un morceau de veau? Je n'en veux pas, il n'est pas beau. Du petit salé, je veux avoir qu'il y a 7 ans, c'est au taloir, quand le boucher entendit ça, hors de sa porte il s'enfuia. Il était trois petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Boucher, boucher, ne t'enfuis pas, réponds-toi, Dieu te pardonnera. Et le saint étendit 3 doigts, les 10 lèvres tous les 3. Il était 3 petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Le premier dit, j'ai bien dormi. Le second dit, et moi aussi. Et le troisième répondit, je croyais être au paradis. Et il était 3 petits enfants qui s'en allaient glaner au champ. Well, flawed as that rendition was, I had to play that song, that tune to follow up, because it's called "So I'm Off with the Good Saint Nicholas Boat." There's a boat in there, And this is important because there aren't a whole lot of boats in my set list today. There's a few. There's a few more to come. It's okay. Right. So this. Oh, let's see. No, this is a song written by Thomas Campion, who was contemporary of the end of this of the reign of Elizabeth I and the beginning of the reign of James I of England, and he's one of my favorites. And I'm wet. This is called Now Winter Nights, which is just the beginning of the first line of the song, Now Winter Nights. And it's... Now winter nights enlarge the number of their hours, and clouds their storms discharge upon the airy towers. Now let the chimneys blaze, and cups overflow with wine. Let well-tuned chords amaze with harmony divine. Now yellow waxen lights shall wait on honey love, while a youthful revel's masks and courtly sights sleep's leaden spells remove. This time doth well dispense with lovers' long discourse. Much speech hath some defense, though beauty no remorse. All do not all things well, some comely measures tread, some knotted riddles tell, some poems sweetly read. The summer hath its joys, and winter its delights, though love and all its pleasures are but toys, they short and tedious nights. Thomas Campion has written a lot of good stuff. Well, I'm 15. I think I'm doing a little math here. I might go straight to the last song. Oh, no, I won't. I will go to a song by Hilaire Belloc, a Frenchman who moved to Sussex, England at a very young stage in his life. So he was, by roots he was French, but he became an Anglophile, which is always nice to hear. And he wrote this song in passionate praise of the English countryside. Let's see. So, the Sussex drinking song. Here we go. In Sussex Downs, where I was bred, in lane when lanes and autumn rains are red, and Aaron tumbles in his bed, and gusty gales go by, when branches bare in Burton Glen, and Berry Hill is whitening then, I drink strong ale with gentlemen, which no one can deny, deny, which no one can deny, deny. In cold November off I go to push my face against the snow and watch the wind where'er it blow, because my heart is high. Then I settle me down in standing to sing of the girls I've met in my wandering, and all I mean to do in spring, which no one can deny, deny, which no one can deny, deny. Though times be rude and weather rough, the ways be foul and fortune's tough, we are of stout South Country stuff, who never can have strong ale enough. From Crowborough top to Ditchling down, from Hurstpierpoint to Arundel town, the girls are fine, the ale is brown, which no one can deny, deny, which no one can deny, deny. Right, we're going to go straight into this next one. Thank you kindly. So this is a 7-minuter. Is this going to work? 7 minutes? Right. Wheat pot stove is, I recently looked it up because there's one verse that I never bothered to learn up till now, and I thought, you know, by golly, I better do it. And it has been attributed to Nick Jones, and he did not write it. Harry Robertson wrote it. Harry Robertson worked on whaling vessels in Australia, off of Australia, for a number of years, in the mostly in the 50s, maybe a little before that. He died not too long ago, well, within my lifetime. And so there you go. And he wrote, there's a piece that I just want to read as an introduction. It's rather a long introduction, but here we go. I placed the first enameled bucket of home brew on the deck of my cabin. The yellow fluid, barely fermenting now, had the full black bodies of prunes floating in it. Saturday night, my guests stamped into my cabin, covered with snow from the blizzard that howled outside. It had been howling for a week. None of us gave it much thought. This was wintertime in Leith Harbor, South Georgia, and the factory ships and the transports had departed months ago for home, leaving us behind to repair the whale-chasing ships for the following season. We did not expect mail, newspapers, or any contact with the outside other than the official radio transmitter for many more months to come. The squalor of the whaling station was buried under many feet of snow, and to some extent, it hid its ugliness. Meanwhile, as host, I filled the mugs of the guests, and they drank deeply of the prune juice. No vintage wine ever tasted better, if one can judge from their eagerness to refill. The first bucket thawed them out. The second one started the singing. Songs of all kinds, Scottish, English, Norwegian, Swedish, old songs, body songs, ditties, all sung unaccompanied but with relish. Usually bucket number 3 produced philosophical nostalgia. This intellectual condition, coupled with an acute awareness of our isolation, had the catalytic effect of producing strong antisocial tendencies in most of the guests. This was the most critical time of the evening for any host. He had to evict or be evicted. Next morning would see all of us slightly bruised but relieved of inner tensions, crawling over the ice-caked gangways, onto ice-covered decks, and into dimly lit freezing engine rooms to repair engines. The first job was to light the wee pot stove and get a little warmth. And so, huddled round the little stove, we would discuss the night before, the essence of the brew, the quality of the singing, and what a good fight it had been. Paddy the liar, who never let the truth spoil a good story, was indeed a treasure under such conditions, but I have also listened to men who traveled the outback of Australia paint good word pictures. Thus it was until the return of the factory ships, the next season over, and home to Scotland. The stove was indeed the whalers' campfire. How the winter blizzards blew when the whaling fleet's at rest. Tucked in Leith Harbor's sheltered bay, safely anchored 10 abreast. And the whalemen at their stations, as from ship to ship they go, carry little bags of coal with them and a little iron stove. In that wee dark engine room, where the chill seeps through your soul, how we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. Fireman Paddy worked with me on the engine stiff and cold. A stranger to the truth was he, there's not a lie he hadn't told. And he boasted of his gold mines and of all the hearts he'd won, and his body's sense of humor shone just like a ray of sun. In that wee dark engine room, where the chill seeps through your soul, how we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. We labored 7 days a week with cold hands and frozen feet, bitter days and lonely nights, making grog and having fights, salt fish and whaleman sausage, fresh penguin eggs a treat, and we trudged along to work each day through icy winds and sleet. In that wee dark engine room, where the chill seeps through your soul, how we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. Then one day we saw the sun and the factory ships return, meet an old friend, sing a song, hope the season won't be long. Then it's homeward bound when it's over, and we'll leave this icy cove, but I always will remember that little iron stove. In that wee dark engine room, where the chill seeps through your soul, how we huddled round that wee pot stove that burned oily rags and coal. Thank you for singing.
All right, thank you, Chris Rowe. So let's give it up one more time for Chris.
Yeah.
Wonderful way to get us started. I've always loved that song, The Wee Pot Stove, since the very first time I heard her sing it years ago, and I've been fortunate enough to sing along many times with that tune. And also very impressed that she tackled the French song, which I would never even think of trying to sing a song in a different language. But great job, Chris. Thank you.
And those high notes, where did those come from? Woo!
Gotta love it. So, we are next, we have, while we're waiting for the next group to set up, we've got a little song to be sung by my fellow MC, Dan. This is Christmas in the Trenches, and he's got a musical accompaniment here from Keith Todd.
Yeah, if you can probably see this, I tripped over the cat about 2.5 weeks ago and managed to catch this finger on the way down. So it's sprained. It's healing slowly. But Keith has graciously agreed to accompany me on this. It's important for me to do this song. We've done it every year for decades now. And I think there was one year about 4 or 5 years ago where I didn't, and a bunch of people gave me a bad time. So just trying to avoid that bad time and trying to remind people what's really important.
Well, let's just hope your finger heals soon, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, my name is Francis Tolliver. I come from Liverpool. 2 years ago, the war was waiting for me after school. To Belgium, then to Flanders, to Germany, to here. We fought for king and country we held dear. 'Twas Christmas in the trenches where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were still, no Christmas songs were sung. Our families back in England were toasting us that day. Are the brave and glorious lads so far away? Oh, I was lying with my messmate on the cold and rocky ground when across the lines of battle came a most peculiar sound. Says I, well, listen up, me lads, each Tommy strained to hear, as one lone German voice sang out so clear. He's singing bloody well, you know, me partner says to me. Soon one by one each German voice joined in harmony. The cannon all went silent, the gas clouds rolled no more, as Christmas brought us respite from the war. As soon as they were finished, a reverent pause was spent. God rest ye merry gentlemen, struck up some lads from Kent. Oh, the next they sang was Stille Nacht, 'tis silent night, says I. And in 2 tongues one song lit up that sky. There's someone coming towards us, the front-line sentry cried. All sights were fixed on one lone figure trudging from their side. His truce flag like a Christmas star shone on that plain so bright, as he bravely strode unarmed into the night. Soon one by one on either side stepped into no man's land. With neither gun nor bayonet, we met there hand to hand. We shared some secret brandy, and we wished each other well. And in a Christmas soccer game, we gave 'em hell. We traded chocolates, cigarettes, photographs from home. These sons and fathers far away from families of their own. Tom Sanders played his squeeze box. They had a violin. As curious and fine a band has never been. Soon daylight stole upon us, and France was France once more. With sad farewells we each prepared to settle back to war. But the question haunted everyone who lived that wondrous night: whose family have I fixed within my sight? 'Twas Christmas in the trenches where the frost so bitter hung. The frozen fields of France were warmed as songs of peace were sung, and the walls they built between us to exact their work of war had crumbled and were gone forevermore. Oh, my name is Francis Tulliver, in Liverpool I dwell. Each Christmas comes since World War I, I've learned this lesson well, that the ones who call the shots won't be among the dead and maimed, and on each side of the rifle we're the same. Keith Todd was playing on that. You'll be hearing from him in a different way in about an hour. I'd like to encourage you to support our local musicians and supporting Maritime Folknet, going to the GoFundMe page, or another wonderful thing to do would be to join Maritime Folknet. We are a membership organization, and we do a lot of fun things, and it'd be wonderful to have you aboard. So, we now have a stage full of Shifty Sailors. They hail from Whidbey Island, and Whidbey Island, Washington, for those of you who are farther away. They are a men's shanty chorus, and those kinds of choruses are quite popular in Europe. I think there's a wonderful movie about an English group of that sort. I can't remember the name of it right now. It'll come back to me eventually. But they sing a variety of maritime songs, and they have sung them here. They have sung them in Poland and in Czechoslovakia, where they represented the United States at the International Festival of Shanty Music in Prague. So this is a well-traveled group, and they probably had to ride a ferry just to get here today. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Please do take it away, Shifty Sailors.
Thank you, Dan.
We sailed east and west on the mighty Columbia, where currents can take you wherever they will, round islands and deadheads and sharp rocky bottoms. If it's trouble you're searching, you'll soon get your fill. We'll rant and we'll roar like true shifty sailors. Rant and we'll roam aloft and below, until we strike soundings due west of Hope Island, and straight through the channel to Cookville we'll go. The haul from Astoria is ever a rough one. Long Beach and Westport, you're in for a fight. The isle called Destruction has taken its toll, and more straight away for Cape Flattery's light. We'll rant and we'll roam like true shifty sailors. Rant and we'll roam aloft and below, until we strike sounding due west of Hope Island, then straight through the channel to Cookville. and we'll roam aloft and below until we strike soundings due west of Mumbai. Then straight through the channel to Goodville we'll go. We'll rent and we'll roar like true shifty sailors. Rent and we'll roam aloft and below until we strike soundings due west of Mumbai. Then straight through the channel to Goodville we'll go.
Thank you. Well, that was a song written by one of our members many, many years ago, and it's a little story about a trip on a boat from the Columbia River all the way out to the ocean, down the straits, and ending up in Coopville. So we enjoy singing that. That's the Shifty Sailor Anthem. This next one is one you may have heard before. It's from Netherlands. It's called A Roven.
In Amsterdam there lived a maid, mark well what I do say. In Amsterdam there lived a maid, and she was mistress of her trade. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been me ruined. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving. I took this fair maid for a walk, mark well what I do say. I took this fair maid for a walk, and we had such a loving talk. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been me ruined. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. She swore that she'd be true to me, mark well what I do say. She swore that she'd be true to me, but spent me payday fast and free. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been me ruined. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, now when I get back home from sea, mark well what I do say. Now when I get back home from sea, a soldier had her on his knee. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, since roving's been me ruined. I'll go no more a-roving with you, fair maid. A-roving, no more a-roving.
Thank you. We do sing songs from around the world. That one obviously is from the Netherlands. This next one is from the United States, but it's from Hawaii, called John Kanaka. I heard the old man say,
John Kanaka Naka Tulae.
today is a holiday.
John Kanaka Naka Tulae. Tulae, oh Tulae. John Kanaka Naka Tulae. Tulae, oh Tulae. John Kanaka Naka Tulae.
I thought I heard the bosun say,
John Kanaka Naka Tulae.
tomorrow not to work today.
John Kanaka Naka Tulae. Tulae, oh Tulae. John Kanaka Naka Tulae. Tulae, oh Tulae. John Kanaka Naka Tulae.
We're heading now to Frisco Bay.
John Kanaka Naka Tulae.
Better be ready by break of day.
John
we thought we'd do a couple of seasonal songs, if you will. These are old English songs sung a cappella. You might recognize a couple of them. First one is called The Boar's Head.
The boar's head in hand there I, bedecked with bays and rosemary. I pray my masters be merry, podestes in convivio. Apud apre de ferro, redens laudes Domino. The boar's head, as I understand, is the rarest dish in all this land, which thus bedecked with a gay garland, let us serve cantico. Caput apre de ferro, redens laudes Domino. Our steward hath provided this in honor of the King of bliss, which on this day to be served is in reginencia trio. Caput apre de ferro, redens laudes Domino. Caput apre de ferro, redens laudes Domino. Wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. So here is to Cherry and to his right cheek. Pray God send our master a good piece of beef. A good piece of beef that we may all see. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. Come butler, come fill us a bowl of the best, and I pray your soul in heaven may rest. But if you do draw us a bowl of the small, then down shall go butler, bowl and all. Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. And here's to the maid in the lily white smock, who tripped to the door and slipped back the lock, who tripped to the door and pulled back the pin, for to let the shifty sailors in. Wassail, wassail all over the town. Our bread it is white and our ale it is brown. Our bowl it is made of the white maple tree. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee. With a wassailing bowl we'll drink to thee.
We've been known to sing in a pub from time to time. And this is a classic pub song called All for Me Grog. Well, it's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog, and all for me beer and tobacco. Well spent, all
shirt, me noggin shirt. It's all gone for beer and tobacco. For the collar is all worn and the sleeves they're all torn, and the tail is looking out for better weather. It's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all gone for beer and tobacco. First and call me tin on the lassie drinking gin, or across the western ocean I must wander. I'm sick in the head and I haven't been to bed. First I came ashore with me plunder. Well, I spent all me dough on the lassies, don't you know? Far across the western ocean I must wander. It's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all me tin on the lassie drinking gin, or across the western ocean I must wander. It's all for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. It's all for me beer and tobacco. Well, I spent all me tin on the lassie drinking gin, or across the western ocean I must wander. Oh.
So we're going to do a song now that we really do truly believe should be our state song. It's called Washington, Washington. And we actually went to Olympia many years ago and tried to convince them that this should be the song. And they were very, very supportive. But then they decided, the one we've got's good enough. So we continue to sing this and have a great time, and I know you'll enjoy it. It's called Washington, Washington.
Thanks to Joe Vinico for writing it.
Yeah, the local Seattle boy wrote the song.
Washington, Washington, unto the land of the rhododendron. We got the bluey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the bowling flame. Over the mountains and the water's blue, the founding fathers and mothers too sing. Soon as we get off the trail, we're gonna build us a zoo and a monorail. Oh, Washington, Washington, up to the land of the rhododendron. We got the bluey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the bowling lane. They took the great rotunda, everybody got under. Founding fathers with visions clear, named the capital after their favorite beer. Oh, Washington, Washington, come to the land of the rhododendron. We got the bluey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the bowling lane. A major portion, to say the least, of our fair state lies to the east. A substantial peninsula to the west completes the state that we love the best. Oh, Washington, Washington, under the land of the rhododendron. We got the bluey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the bowling lane. A land without the alligator, no tsetse fly and no of you. Whatever you want, we don't want it to. Oh, Washington, Washington, come to the land of the rhododendron. We got the gooey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the flowing clay. Oh, Washington, Washington, come to the land of the rhododendron. We got the gooey duck and the mountain range, the red delicious apple and the flowing clay. South of the border, down Washington way. Away! Thank you.
Are we done? You want to?
Okay.
Thank you very much, Shifty Sailors. And thank you for doing Washington, Washington. It's one of my all-time favorite songs.
We were
Now,
all just gobsmacked by that and just didn't know what to do over here.
Yeah.
So well done, boys.
yeah, you got us. All right. Reminds me when I first heard about the Shifty Sailors from William Pint. He said, well, they do kind of sea shanties kind of barbershop style. And so then I got in touch with Vern Olson, and I quoted William on that. I said, it sounds like you go to kind of barbershop style. And he said, kind of more like butcher shop. Anyway, thanks for what you do, and thanks for doing that with us. All right, well now, actually we're going to have a little treat from Captain Dano. This is a poem based on a rather famous poem, and it's kind of a tradition that we've had on and off over the years, back in the old days of the Whateverly Brothers, and when we would do the Yule TIDE Concert over at Emmanuel Lutheran Church. Matthew Moeller used to get up into the pulpit and to do this little story. And sorry we can't supply a pulpit for you this time, Dano, but have at it.
I'll make do. Matthew, if you're out there, I hope I can do this justice. This little story was written by Michael Allen Rosen, East Coaster, who also goes by the name of Clark Cable. 'Twas the night afore Christmas, and down below decks the prisoners was sleeping with chains round their necks. A mutineer was hung by the yardarm with care, as a warning to others they'd better beware. The crew were all nestled below in their bunks. They slept just like babies and smelled just like skunks. Me mate with his cutlass and me with me gun had just settled in for a long drink of rum. When out on the deck there arose such a clamor, I reached for me pistol and pulled back the hammer. Away to the porthole I flew in a wink. I opened it wide and threw up in me drink. Now the moon to the west was a probable source of a nagging suspicion that we was off course. But what to me matey's good eye should appear but 8 flying goats and an old buccaneer. I reached for me spyglass when first they appeared, and I knew in a moment it must be Whitebeard. More rapid than seagulls they flew toward me quarters, and he lashed them and cursed them and barked out these orders. Now Long Jack, now Silver, now Dutchman and Flint, on Barnacle, on Bluster, on Cable and Quint, to the top of the mainsail, to the top of the mast. Now cast off that line. No, not that one. Oh, blast. As ships that are pitching and driven by blizzard when met with an obstacle rammed through its gizzard, so into the crow's nest his vessel did crash, with a blasphemous curse and a crack of the lash. And then in a twinkling I heard him aloft, though he thought he was being so stealthy and soft. As I pulled in me head and went back to the gloom, down on the deck Whitebeard hit with a boom. Bunk as he searched for the loot, the rusty old cutlass. His features, how salty! He tripped and he fell 'cause his vision was faulty. His ratty white hair was tied back with a scarf, and his beard were all stained with the old fella's barf. The stump of one knee was held up by a peg, and how well I remember 'twas I took that leg. He'd a long, jagged scar and a stomach gigantic that rolled when he walked like the northern Atlantic. He was ugly and mean, a right scurvy old elf. So I stayed where I was and threw up on myself. For the look in his eye and the tilt of his head, well, it gave me to know that we soon might be dead. But he spoke not a word, went straight to the hold. He grabbed all the silver and bagged up the gold, and locking it all up inside of a chest, climbed back up the rigging into the crow's nest. He boarded his craft, to his team gave a yell, and away they all flew just like bats out of hell. But I heard him exclaim, like a ghost from afar, "I'll be back again next year. Be ready! Ha-ha!" All right, that's one to get you in the Christmas spirit. So our next performers are the Blue Heron Canoe family. They sing and tell stories that both educate and increase our understanding of traditional values of the people of the Cedar and the Coast Salish people. They are led by Wakush Kanum, chairman of the Snohomish Tribe of Indians and father of the Blue Heron Canoe family. We're really glad they're here tonight. Welcome.
Twa Gwalapu, to all you people. Twa Gwalapu, Gwalapu da Isha, you're our friends, our relatives. Wakas Kanum Titsta, my name is Wakas Kanum. O Ululus Chasata Spakwa Gui, we travel in the Blue Heron Canoe. DC Siaya Eskel at the Keltby, and this is my family that's in the canoe. So we've traveled down the Columbia River, up the coast, past Tatoosh, Cape Flattery, down through the Straits. We've been traveling in the Puget Sound, up north in the interior islands. We've been up the west coast of Vancouver Island, and on the inside, at the end of Vancouver Island, and then traveled 75 more miles by canoe. So we've been traveling these seas just like everybody else has. And so we'd like to demonstrate, we'd like to teach you our paddle song, our entry song, so that we announce ourselves when we come to a new village and we're still paddling in the canoe. So they get to know who we are and that they will welcome us to shore. This belongs to the Blue Heron Canoe family, and it's called Entry. Whoa-ee, ah-ha-ee, oh-ho-ee, oh-ee, whoa-ee, ah-ha-ee, oh-ho-ee, oh-ee, whoa-ee, whoa-ee, oh-ho-ee, oh-ee, whoa-ee, So the canoe has arrived after voyaging for a while, and we asked permission to come ashore, and that's what I did at the very front. Was part of that was announcing who we are, and then before we come ashore, we need to ask permission because it's somebody else's territory. Every village was considered another tribe, and so as we'd enter another tribe's territory, we'd ask permission to come ashore. If they didn't, we'd have to turn around and go home. Didn't want to do that, so we would come in. We'd come in the canoe. We would zigzag slowly. We would do a 360-degree turn, then come towards shore and head the canoe into shore, and then we would announce ourselves. So as they will go by sideways, then they could not only see that there was nobody being hidden, but they could see our smiling faces as well. And so we also sing paddle songs when we're in the canoe, and that's to keep a rhythm, a pace, to keep your mind off of the long journey, to keep focus, because when you're out on the water, it's important that you maintain your focus. Because the water is indifferent, it doesn't care whether you live or die, so you have to pay attention when you're out there. So this is another paddle song, and we call it Tracing the Waves. And it came to us when I was pulling the canoe over to an acquaintance's house over there near Quillacene Bay. And so we call this Tracing the Waves because they're pointing their paddles and tracing the tops of the waves. You'll notice that it's over my head. So we've been out in there in the Strait of Juan de Fuca, just like that, where the waves were up that high. This is called Tracing the Waves, and it belongs to the Blue Heron Canoe family. Hi-yo, ho-eh, hi-yo, ho-eh, hi-yo, ho-eh. And keep going. It's only 25 miles to go. Yay! 25 miles! Could be more. I've done up to 45 in one day by canoe. So 25 is short, believe it or not. Right? Yeah. Been there, done that. So this next song also belongs to Aswali. It's okay for us to sing a song. He asked that we remember two things. One, remember who the song carrier is, which I've already told you, it's Aswali. And number two, that you do it as you originally were taught. So in this song, the dancers are going to go to the middle of the floor and get in a circle. The circle will be broken at one point only. That's to show you that there is movement. And this is about the tide. So this is the time of year when the frogs go into hibernation. They hibernate in the wintertime. When they come out of hibernation, they start to croak. That's when you know spring is right around the corner. And when they start to croak, they sing this song. Dee-dee, swadach, chee-chug, swadach. Dee-dee, swadach, chee-chug, swadach. Tide goes out, tide comes in. Tide goes out, tide comes in. So this is the words of the song, and this is the teaching that goes with it. Dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, 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 chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 dee-dee, swadach, hey, hey, chee-chug, swadach, hey, hey, dee-dee, swadach, hey, hey, chee-chug, swadach, hey, 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 big splash. So now you know what the frogs say in the spring. What was that? Tide goes out, tide comes in. So I'm having fun. I don't know about the rest of you. And let's see, we got another paddle song. We'll call this one Red Raven. It comes to us by a gentleman who is called Red Raven. His native name is Kenneth Cleet. He comes from the house that shakes in Clinton, up north. And he blessed us with this song. He gave it to us, and now we are the song carriers. It belongs to us. No words to this song, just singing syllables. Hee-oh, ho-way, hee-oh, ho-way, way, ho-way, ho-way, H-C-A, C-A, way, ho-way, ho-way, H-C-A, C-O, C-A. So we announce ourselves when we arrive by the canoe. You'll know us by the song we sing. Just like the birds that are in the bushes that you can't see, you know which ones they are. You know they're out there by the song they sing. Each bird has its own song. So each canoe family has its song. And so as we sing the songs now, you know who we are. Before we get to leave and before we get to say goodbye, we usually leave with a paddle song. And so that's what we want to do for you, and we want to thank you for inviting us. Thank you for being there and applauding, and all the audience that's participating. Remember, these songs are proprietary, they're owned, they're intellectual property, they're owned, and you cannot sing them for profit. You can sing them because you like them. This is our last song. It's a paddle song, and if you don't mind, they'll paddle around a couple times and then leave the stage to the right. Okay? We call this one Say Ta, because that's what it sounds like when we're singing it. And again, it's there are no particular words, it's more of a feeling. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, whoa, hey, say ta, oh, hey, aho, aho, aho. Give 'em a hand.
Walkus Canum and the Blue Heron Canoe family, thank you for joining us. So important that we thank the indigenous peoples that have been on these lands way, way longer than we have. Thank you so much.
And took such good care of it, too.
And very well, yes. Better than we've done, I would say. So while we're setting up for SeaStar, we've got a sea shanty to sing for you. We're going to ask the Shifty Sailors to join Dan and I up here. And where's Lynn, one of our sound techs, is going to come on up and join us as well.
So
And we're going to
So this is a shanty that Keith Todd, my accompanist on erstwhile, wrote during a journey when he was a passenger on a freighter going from Honolulu to Seattle. All there?
Everybody Everybody ready?
Oh, the storm, she's a-screaming like Lucifer's mare to me, down, down in Derry. She'll flatten your face and she'll steal all your hair to me, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate on the blow. All hands, yo, down Derry below. Oh, we emptied her bellies in Honolulu to me, down, down in Derry. Now she's heavy on top and she's light on the screw to me, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate in the blue. All hands, yo, down Derry below. 22,000 tons of water and steel to me, down, down in Derry. Now she bucks like a stallion and she rolls like a wheel to me, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits a precarious fate in the blow. All hands, yo, down Derry below. We've been shipping blue water 'cause this ocean's blue to me, down, down in Derry. And it shows us waiting each time that we do to me, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate in the blue. All hands, yo, down Derry below. We plow through a trough and list 40 degrees to me, down, down in Derry. And she steers like a pig and she never agrees to me, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate in the blow. All hands, yo, down Derry below. If we keep on this heading, we'll miss Flattery to me, down, down in Derry. If we come to the right, we'll be battered to pieces way down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate in the blue. All hands, yo, down Derry below. Down Derry below, old man Neptune awaits our precarious fate in the blow. All hands, yo, down Derry below. Woo! Woo! All right, thank you very much, Shifties and Lynn.
Thank you, Shifty Sailors. Thank you, Lynn. Thanks for all your help. And while we're at it, let's say thanks to our sound technicians, the crew, the board members, the venue, everybody who's made this possible tonight. Before we introduce SeaStar as our last group, remember that if you would like to join the Maritime Folknet, we would welcome you to do so. Go to maritimefolknet.org. You can get a free CD when you join. So please go to the website, maritimefolknet.org, and join the group. For more information about all of these performers, you can also go there or to their individual websites. We're really glad everybody was able to join us tonight. Chris Rowe, Shifty Sailors, Blue Heron Canoe family, and of course, our last act here, SeaStar. You want to take it over, Dan?
All right. All right. From dusty Americana postcards to Celtic anthems with hints of bluegrass and old time, SeaStar has performed their stories across Europe, Canada, and the USA. Faye Wiedenhoft, Michael Falcone, Captain Chambers bring their songwriting and love of the sea together into a powerful performances that will have you imagining and singing those scenes long afterwards. Led by the gorgeous voice of Faye, and we have, actually, there's one name here that I didn't speak, so you will probably introduce that fourth person. All right, but let's give it a warm Maritime Folknet welcome to SeaStar.
Thank you very much. I'm going to start off with a wintry song by Dave Goulding.
January man, he walks the road in woolen coat and boots of leather. February man still shakes the snow from off his hair and blows his hand. And in March he sees the spring and wonders what the year will bring, and hopes for better weather. Through April rains the man goes down to watch the birds come in to share the summer. And in May stands very still, watching the children dance away the day. In June the man inside the man is young and wants to lend a hand, and grins at each new color. And in July, the man in cotton shirt, he sits and thinks, being idle. The August man and thousands take the road to find the sea and share the sun. The September man is standing near to saddle up and lead the year, and autumn is his bridal. The man in New October takes the reins, and early frost is on his shoulder. Oh, November man sees fire and wind, and mist and rain and wintry gale. December man looks through the snow to let 11 brothers know they're all a little older. And the January man comes round again in woolen coat and boots of leather, to take another turn and walk along the icy road he knows so well. For the January man is here for starting each and every year along the road forever. Thank you. Whew. I'm nervous.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for the incredible music today. I loved every moment of it. I was sitting watching everyone perform, and what a lovely thing it is to be in a room among others and hear live music. I'm sorry for all the people watching at home, but trust me, it was amazing.
I think they need a canoe song.
A canoe, I know. They were amazing. They were amazing. So I write some seafaring songs and maritime songs, but I like to try different genres. And this next one's a bit of a rock and roll song. I'll be honest. We're going to try to get maritime music mainstream, folks. This is what's going to happen. And then we're going to go directly from this song. It's brand new. I wrote it this year, called Stillwater. And the song's about joy, and it's about finding the joy and about being, you're not Stillwater. And the directly following will be another song I wrote called On the Sea. But for now, let's rock out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You were born from oceans wide, the old stalls and rise. You race for joy, you dance the tides, knew every star that ever shine. Years rolled on, coastal winds changed course, you started doubting each ebb and flow. You peered, hardly glancing at old friend moon, receding in the darkness below. No song moved within your heart, the winter wind brought cold and loss. Diamond days were far apart, all hope was locked in frost. Let your light shine, let it warm your soul, you're not still water. Every river tear, every storm that blows, you're not still water. Out you flow through the rainbow's edge, every color reflected gold. Treasures lush you with a sirens call until you felt the riptides hold. Cold and cruel was the voice inside, an anxious wave wrapped around. Laughable, but the lies that you told yourself, but the fears that kept you down. Off the shore in the push and pull, the counter currents locked you in. Break the vines, toss away old lines, you make people weak. Be brave and swim, let your light shine, let it warm your soul. You're not still water. Every river tear, every storm that blows, you're not still water. will make Maritime's mean stream. This is a song I wrote for this city in particular, Seattle, Washington. I have a huge reverence for all the people who are on the sea. I have a huge respect for our community of singers and sailors. Wow, what a place to be. Sea can feed your family, make you brave and humble too. She bring you riches, make you strong, steal the breath right out of you. You must respect her wild heart, you know it's always her way. And if you're lucky, brother, hold on tight, stay another day. I was born to sail the great blue sea, till the sun and wind and salt and rain come crashing over me. I was born to sail the great blue sea, and sail life on the land that makes you come to understand, for the power and the love of feeling free. But on the sea, work yourself in ways you never thought your body could. Sail storms so fierce and thick, swear there was no good. Winds will come like howled screams and bring you to your knees. Just hold your course and chart the stars, hang on to the breeze. I was born to sail the great blue sea, till the sun and wind and salty rains come crashing over me. I was born to sail the great blue sea, and there's no life on this land that makes you come to understand, for the power and the love of feeling free. But on the sea, sound boy, captain, orders on for more. It's already been a 30-hour day. Waves collide, northern winds tangle the tides. With place where many boats got swept away, and every bone in my skin feels the cold deepening as the breakers keep crashing on the rails. Keep your head and stay on task, cause those waves will kick your ass. Find the calm that lives within that wicked gale. Woo! Hazing on my land, she softly calls and sings to me. Diamond eyes and salty brine make me drunk on majesty. Think of what life might have been if I'd never tossed a line. While picket fence round a tethered rock be the cruelest crime, for I was born to sail the great blue sea, till the sun and wind and salty rains come crashing over me. I was born to sail the great blue sea, and there's no life on the land that makes you come to understand, for the power and the love of feeling free. For I was born to sail the great blue sea, till the sun and wind and salty rains come crashing over me. I was born to sail the great blue sea, and there's no life on this land that makes you come to understand, for the power and the love of feeling free. But on the sea, there's no place in this world I'd rather be. Thanks so much. I can't hear you at all. Are you turned up? Is that where you're supposed to be? Are you turned up enough? Yeah? You okay? It's kind of an interesting it's got a lot of great sound happening, but it comes to these little instruments, I'm lost. I'm like, playing autopilot, and the autopilot failed me on a little bit on that one, but well.
We're all here together, right?
You know what? There's some tidal waves. There's some rogue waves that pop up every now and again. You just got to keep sailing. All right. Distance Christmas. So last year, I wrote a tiny Christmas song. Well, I mean, come on. It was 2020. We're all locked in our little houses and unable to see family. And I felt, well, I needed a song to kind of bring us all together. And I kind of came up with this one, and I texted Ron on a Thursday. This is Ron Allen, by the way. He was the person that wasn't mentioned in the beginning. Ron has been a long-time member of SeaStar, here and again. And I texted Ron on, I don't know, somewhere like the first week of December, and I said, Ron, I have this song I want to record. Can I send it to you over the internet, and can we make a song? And he's like, sure. And then, so Adam and I recorded things at our house, and Falcone recorded things at his house.
At
and
my
we sent
kitchen
it-
table.
sent it over to Ron and through the interwebs, and Ron recorded a bunch of stuff on his side and then mixed it all and mastered it all. And before you know it, gosh, we had a song. And anyway, it's a little Christmas song for everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Leaves on the trees begin to fall as the summer says farewell. The time of year is coming on forgiving. Our plans have changed, I'm far away, wishing I could be with you. And I'll stay here so next year no one's missing. Love is bright and big, they say it takes on many things. It holds us up and reaches miles away. And though we have to be apart on this holiday, close your eyes and know you're not alone. Like the sun's return when a storm is past on a cold December day. My love's a light that always makes it home. All around the world this year, folks are distancing love. Traditions change, yet that Christmas star seems bright. Been quite blessed throughout the years, filled with laughter, hugs, and touch. Each year we'll hold each other a little stronger. Love is bright and big, they say it takes on many things. It holds us up and reaches miles away. And though we have to be apart on this holiday, close your eyes and know you're not alone. Like the sun's return when a storm is past on a cold December day. My love's a light that always makes it home. Love is bright and big, they say it takes on many things. It holds us up and reaches miles away. And though we have to be apart on this holiday, close your eyes and know you're not alone. Like the sun's return when a storm has passed on a cold December day. My love's the light that always makes it home. Love's the light that always makes it home. Thanks very much. Are we there? I don't even know where we are. Are we lost in time? More. Okay, we got another.
You want more?
Just in case.
They must like us.
I don't know about that, but whatever. Wrong instrument. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much. Have to say that I always miss our dear friend Alice Winship right around this time of year. I should say now 2 years in a row. But yes, give it up for Alice Winship. And I liked talking with Alice because she always had beautiful anecdotes to add to our conversations. But I also liked the fact that she respected the fact I made maritime music differently than maybe the average Seattleite. And I put a little crazy edge to it. But we always had good conversations about how music just becomes a little reflection. And maybe I'm a little rock and roll, but I've always just kind of took the form of a folkie. Who knows? But Alice always kind of gave me some wisdom. And when I wrote this song, I remember I submitted it to the song contest, and she goes, "Faith, that's a really fun song." And thanks, Alice. Thanks so much. The song is called The Little Western. It's based on a true story. I found this old, like captain's logs. Captain's log. It was on the Google Books, and it's free, and it was the story of this little boat that wanted to cross the Atlantic Ocean, not once, but twice. And it was a 16-foot flat-bottomed dory fishing boat. And it was an amazing story. I just had to write a song about them. The Little Western. It was the 12th of June, 1880. From Gloucester, Mass, we bought a 16-foot dory. We had provisions for hot coffee twice a day. To cross the Atlantic was impossible, they say, and we crossed off the dock lines that day. Made to sail, we're on our way. We're bound for England, and don't you forget it's a long way from home. We traveled for 60 miles a day. At times we met other ships on our way. A British steamer cried, "Boys, are you wrecked?" A little western, the smallest boats across this ocean yet. 'Cause we crossed off the dock lines that day. Made to sail, we're on our way. We're bound for England, and don't you forget it's a long way from home. And the wind began to blow, and the seas rose below, and the skies opened wide with disdain. We were tossed up and over and twice round again, and we lost our course in the waves and the rain. And the little western sailed for her life, but not her fate. The morning after, soaked in the sun, mailed the water and managed the undone. We sipped our coffee as the morning lifted slow, and both the banks as they left home. We tossed off the dock lines that day. Raised the sail, we're on our way. We're bound for England, and don't you forget it's a long, long way from home. One more time, guys. 'Cause we tossed off the dock lines that day. Raised the sail, we're on our way. We're bound for England, and don't you forget it's a long way home. Thanks so much. Really quick, I just want to say a huge, massive thanks. No, come this way. Come on. Massive thanks to Chris Glanister, who is banning the soundboard, and Dave, and Bob, and Dan Roberts, and Captain Dano, and all the acts. Amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you for capping off the show so wonderfully. And I think you have the first line there.
Yeah. How about that energy from SeaStar? That was a great way to end the show. It's fantastic for us few who can be here. It really feels great to be broadcasting a live show once again, and hopefully we'll get through this and be able to do a lot more of these in the near future.
I'd like to thank the performers, all of them, and the audience, us, and all of you out there in television land. Also, I'd like to thank our crew, Bob, Chris, Cinda, and Lynn, and particularly like to thank our stage manager, producer, and the guy who kept us all from screwing up too much. Thank you very much, David.
He runs a tight ship. All right, want you all to remember that maritimefolknet.org website. If you like the show tonight, you can go there. There's a GoFundMe link. You can support the show tonight. Very good. There it is. You can support the show. You can join Maritime Folknet. And most of all, thank you for being here, supporting live music, small nonprofits, and social get-togethers once again. Thank you.
All right. We have a happy and healthy holiday season.
And let's keep that COVID flat.
And next year in person.
Thanks.